Here we are, Kinesiology 223. This is Adrian, obviously, and we're talking about the course syllabus in this video. So you've already watched the announcements video and you've made your way to the syllabus and schedule tab. And when you click on this link, it'll open up this document, which is the syllabi. Let me scroll back through it. Now you have to understand the syllabi itself. You have one in every class, and there's a reason. The syllabus itself outlines several things. It outlines an agreement between three parties, you the student, me the instructor, and the college that you attend, whether it's Harper or you go to U of I or Northwestern. And you got to understand that there's an agreement here that has very implicit terms and also not even implicit but actual terms equated. If you as a student do XYZ, and you earn XYZ points, you'll get a certain grade. The college will provide services to allow you to do that. As the instructor, I'm the person that facilitates the learning process. So, in terms of this three-party agreement, you're basically here for the service of learning. I provide that service and the college facilitates that with the facilities. So, at the end of the day, this is a three-party agreement, but also this is an informational document. And in this document, if we scroll down, it gives you the basics in terms of how many credit hours, what days we meet, what times do we meet. Now in our class, it's asynchronous, it's all online for 8 weeks. So, it's not as though we have an issue in terms of making sure we're in the right place at the right time. Last day to drop for our course, it's the first 8 weeks. Will be January 21st. The last day to withdraw will be January 24th. If you find yourself in either of these situations, I hope you have reached out to me much sooner than that to see if we can arrange some way for you to maybe pitch a save, and hold on to this course and not lose the money for the course or the time or the energy you've put into it. It's a challenge sometimes in community college when you're in a 2-year school because you have all these other work-life demands that are upon you. And sometimes it's tough to balance those things. So I would hope that you can articulate some of those challenges to me before they become a problem. Maybe we can find a way to circumvent or usurp those problems. Further down, instructor information. That's me, Adrian Fleischer. You can feel free to call me Adrian. That's fine, whether it's email or in conversation if we ever meet. I do have a phone number on campus, but as I mentioned, I'm an adjunct, so I don't have an office, nor do I have a desk. And so while I do have this really cool Fit One phone number, which is a great phone number for a guy like me, I never check it. So the best way to reach me is afleisch at Harper College. Now understand that for whatever reason, the number of characters allowed in an email address at Harper College doesn't allow for the last letter of my last name. So my email is afleisch, but my actual last name is Fleischer. With office hours, etc. If we have to meet, we can do it via WebEx. If we have to meet in person, we can arrange something. I'll try to make that happen. But whatever online platform you would like to do for a video conference, I'm more than willing to make that happen if you have to reach out. Further down, course description. These are the basics. This is kind of what we're trying to target for the course and what we're trying to hit on for the course. I'll let you read through these, but I'll kind of hit the high points. We're really talking about the relationship that's built between a coach and an athlete. And, coach athlete can also be inferred to be like leader and subordinate or leader or, mentor and mentee, if you will. Whatever the arrangement may be, you could look at this and go, okay, you're learning skills in this class and getting a broader understanding of a coach type environment, but it's also a leadership type of environment. You're starting to hone your leadership skills through the utilization of this course. I'm a guy that I actually went to Harper, played a sport at Harper, transferred out after 2 years. I went to another school. I played 2 sports at that college, and I ended up being a head student assistant in strength and conditioning for 3 years during my undergrad. I also coached defensive backs during my undergrad years. I went to University of Arizona, and I coached in strength and conditioning as part of my internship. And then I ended up being the head strength and conditioning coordinator at Austin Peay State University. So, and then thereafter, I've done a ton of coaching, like youth coaching, personal training, which is kind of one-on-one coaching if you want to kind of loosely say it so. And further, I've also done some youth coaching for Palatine area youth football. And even now at Harper, I teach a couple different classes that are activities based. Olympic weightlifting is one of them, speed, agility, quickness is another one. And I have a number of athletes in my courses. And as a result, I end up doing a lot of coaching in those classes. And it kind of keeps my hands involved in the process. So, I can kind of speak to the process of you find the motivator, what is the why for somebody in terms of their athletic desires. And then you look at like the identity of the person and what makes them tick, the personality of the person, what makes them tick, and how do they identify themselves as an athlete, and what are their motivators to that end. And make no mistake about it, the 10-year-old Papa youth football player might have a continuous timeline of activities all the way up to being a 60-year-old pickleball player. And though they may still have that competitive fire and still enjoy being competitive and playing, the drivers as they evolve through their life might be different. And those will be some of the things we'll touch on in this class. So let's go ahead and jump out of this and we'll scroll down a little bit further. So the materials for the book, Foundation of Sport and Exercise Science, 7th edition. I have my own human kinetics portfolio that I have for teaching. I have all my courses that are electronic version, and I have this book in there, so I know it's easily accessible and something that each one of you can get. And I have the instructor copy as well, electronic version. So to that end, if you just use this ISBN, you should be able to pick up the book through our bookstore, or at least do the electronic version through our bookstore. Further down, you're going to have a computer, and if you don't have a computer, or if you have a challenging situation where you don't have access to one, you do have other alternatives on Harper's campus, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. This is usually the area where most people really want to hone in. When you look at like the assessments for the course, I tried to make this pretty straightforward. I didn't want to bury you in a ton of assignments, but there is a writing assignment for this course. There is an exam component for this course, and there's also an interaction component for this course. We have requirements we have to hit when we write course content. And so for this class, we'll end up having one post and response each week at 5 points each. So you have 8 posts and response for 40 points. I'm not going to go through all the numbers here, but at the end of the day, with the written assignments, it looks like I'm going to land at about 15 written assignments for the course. And then 8 quizzes, one every week based off the content in the book itself. And some of the content will be it'll be derived from some of the content also that I provide just in a lecture. We have exams every other week, week 2, week 4, week 6, week 8. So it comes to a total of 395 points. So you can get your calculator out and times 395 by 0.9, and that'll give you the point value you need to get on the A train for this course. I'll let you read through the category descriptions down here, etc., and take a look at this information. But what I want to get at is with the assessment policies, I do everything online. As I mentioned, I don't have an office, so to that point, I don't carry papers on the campus. I don't sit at home grading papers. I do everything via Blackboard. Everything is delivered via Blackboard. Everything is graded via Blackboard. No paper required for this course at all, unless you want to print something off to do some notes on before you actually submit the assignment itself. If you do have an issue that comes up where you're going to be late with an assignment or you miss an assignment, let's have you try to work on being late first and not miss an assignment, meaning reach out to me before it becomes a problem, right? And to that end, hopefully we can resolve the issue and find a way for you to still be able to submit a homework assignment before it becomes an issue. And I always jokingly say it's like you want to get any points you can in every class so you can actually have your grade not be hindered by missing an assignment. Further down, we get to the end of the course. Please do the course survey. Tell me if something is really good, really awful, really bad. I've taught this course several times. I've taught it with other instructors. This is the first time I'm teaching it. I've taught it one-on-one. I've taught it with other instructors. I've taught it in 16-week. I've taught it in 13-week. I've taught it 8-week. And now I'm teaching it 8-week fully online. So I'm interested to hear the feedback. Please do that for me. With academic dishonesty, it looks like boring stuff, but it's stuff you need to know, right? Because if you end up plugging and chugging all your information in the chat GPT and you're thinking, the large language model is going to churn out your homework assignments for you, you're going to have a problem, because this course requires you to offer writing from your perspective. So it's not like you can just have ChatGPT cough up an assignment for you. But what you can do is you can take your assignment, put it in a ChatGPT and say, could you please wordsmith this for me? Could you please make sure I'm in APA style? Could you please make sure, and ChatGPT will do that for you? That I will accept. But you not writing your assignments or having ChatGPT do it for you? Nope, plagiarism. So make sure you're familiar with these terms down here and understand these. Further down, we have some equal opportunity statements regarding making sure we articulate that we don't discriminate against different parties on campus. And if we go further down, student code of conduct. Now I'm going to scroll this down and let you read through this on your own. And I really want to get into the support services. This is kind of the biggest and most important part of this. If I open up that document, which I already did already, that link will take you to the Student Support Resources page. And I can't stress this enough. Every single one of these, Academic Advising, Support Center, ADS, Computer Labs, all of these have people who work in these departments who are very passionate about what they do, very knowledgeable about what they do, and they'd love to help you. And whether it's our campus or you go to U of I or Northwestern, they will have these services. And I'm telling you, this is one of those rare times in your life when you actually have an entire support system put in place specifically to help people like you be successful in an environment like this. So I would urge you to lean on these different departments, lean on these different services, and help them to help you be successful in college, whatever it is. So the other part too, when we get to the student safety and wellness, I mentioned the starfish. We can create a starfish to be able to, if you have an issue and you articulate something to me, I can create a starfish and it'll go out to everybody in your orbit. But also, we have a number of different services on campus that are here to protect you as well, whether it's interventions with people on campus or it's interventions in terms of issues at home, or maybe you need help or support with any kind of addiction issues. We have these resources on campus that you're just not going to get anywhere else. So I would urge you to utilize these types of services that can be found just quite frankly through this little link right here. We'll take you through that page of all those services. So to that end, guys, I'm going to back out of this presentation and I'm going to go ahead, and from here you'll end up jumping over into learning modules next. All right, have yourself a good one, and thank you so much. Bye.